And in my last video, I spoke about some draft picks that we could make, but really the draft picks that I was talking about were top of the end point guards that are probably going to go in the top 10, which is unrealistic for the Kings because the Kings don't even have a first round pick this year. They don't pick until 42nd in the second round. They only have a second round pick and only pick 42nd unless they make a trade for some earlier picks. That's where they're picking this year. So I looked up a couple of draft picks that are going to be right around the second round, right around the beginning of that second round area. And this is what I came up with. Now, this information here I am getting from CBSSports.com. CBSSports.com was able to help me with this research here. What I came up with was these four guys here down at the bottom. Now, this is basically a point guard ranking. Who they think the top point guards are in this draft. As you can see, position rank goes 1 through 10. So this is their top 10 point guard rankings. So I'm just going to focus down here at 7 through 10, which is around the 24th pick, end of the first, 28th pick, end of the first, 34th pick, beginning of the second, and 41 pick, which they have right around where the Kings pick at 42nd. And I'm going to start off with this guy right here, Walton Clayton Jr., who I believe, is, according to the CBS Sports listing, will be available right around when the Kings pick. He's a senior point guard, 6'3", from Florida. I don't know too much about these guys, so you're gonna have to do some of your own research here on some of these guys. But last year's stats, he averaged about 18 points per game, 44% from the field, 3.3, close to 4 rebounds per game, and 4 assists per game. To me, those are excellent stats. If a point guard could come in here and have those kind of numbers for the Kings, I think that would help the Kings out big time. I'm not sure what kind of leader he is, how aggressive he is, what type of dog he is, but he just going by stats, he sounds like he's going to be a pretty good player. It's not letting me play these videos, or else I'd play these little preview videos they have. And they have picking around 34th this guy LeBaron Filone. He's from he's a freshman actually from Alabama, point guard, 6'4", 177 pounds. And in his regular season, he was getting about 10 points per game, 45% from field goal range, 3 rebounds, and 3.8, almost 4 assists per game. So those are decent stats for LeBaron Filone. I'm not sure how to say his name. Filone. Let's see what these guys say.
4 top 50 guys come in this year. Obviously, LeBaron exceeding all expectations. He was doing it at the first day of practice when I was there, and that has continued. Can you talk about what you've seen for him? I'm not sure if you had these expectations. I will admit I certainly didn't expect him to be this good this quick. So how has he been as effective as he has been?
Yeah, no, I didn't have these expectations either, to be honest with you. And when he got out of his commitment to Kansas after they took all the transfer guards, I mean, one of the statements to us was, look, if I'm not going to play much as a freshman, I'd much rather be at home in Alabama. So, he just kind of came in with the mindset, I'm just going to come in and work hard and get better, with no expectation of any minutes. But with that mindset, and I think that's the correct mindset, I think that's the mindset of most of our guys that have made it. They just, I'm going to earn every minute I get. That way they play as hard as they can. They're not gifted any minutes. They don't have any sense of entitlement. So he came in and played his tail off the first day of practice in June. And he competed, and he was super coachable. His competitive nature was higher than what I thought. I saw a lot of games when he played at Baker, and the level of competition wasn't as high. I do think it helped that he went to Link and played a higher level of competition for his last year of high school. And then he's got to go against Mark Sears, who, may be the best guard in college basketball, and he's got to guard him and go back and forth with him all summer and fall. So I think that's made him better. And then he's got some natural instincts that you just can't coach. I don't want to sit here and act like we've coached this guy all the way into, no, like we've put him in a great system. We've given him a ton of confidence. He's earned it by playing hard, having no sense of entitlement. And then he's got some natural instincts that you just can't coach, that defensively and offensively both. And he's gotten significantly better. We put him in a system. We've given him time to play, and he's shown he's going to be really good in the NBA, I think.
So there you go. That's a great vote of confidence from them. So he sounds like he's going to be a good point guard. This actually says they believe Walter Clayton Jr. could go 9th to the Rockets. So this stuff isn't a perfect science, and guys can be picked anywhere, obviously. So Walter Clayton Jr. at 42nd, 43rd might be a dream, but just kind of going by what CBS has on their rankings. So don't be surprised if Walter Clayton actually goes earlier than 41st. And this other guy, 28th pick, they have Cam Jones from Marquette, senior, 6'5", 205, point guard. So Cam Jones is a 19-point per game player, 48% field goal from the field, 4.5 rebounds, and 5.9 assists per game. Let's see if we can get some sound for Cam Jones.
I like myself some Cam Jones, and that's why we're going to talk about Marquette's point guard here. 20 points, almost 7 assists, almost 5 boards, and almost 2 steals per game. And you know what else? It's only averaging 1.4 turnovers per game. Now, that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the statistical profile. How about this? He's in the 95th percentile in terms of catch and shoot players. He's in the 90th percentile in terms of layup makers, and that's for everyone, not just guards. So you've got an elite shot maker and then an elite layup maker. On top of that, this is a player who was playing alongside Tyler Kolek. At the beginning of the season, Shaka Smart said we're going to see his passing this year, and boy, have we ever. His assist to turnover numbers, and I want to give this appropriate credit. As I was researching this, it was Cracked Sidewalks who first pointed this out. Great little nugget here. The only player in the last 15 years with a 40% plus assist ratio and a less than 10% turnover rate. I mean, just absolutely incredible what he is doing with the ball in his hands this year. And Trotter, I will say this as well. Marquette is 9-1. Their only loss is at Iowa State. Iowa State's one of the hardest places to play in the country. Granted, he didn't have his best shooting night that night, but he still almost got a triple-double. He did get a triple-double against Purdue. Against Wisconsin, he had 32, 6, and 4. So this guy has done it just about every night. And the final point I want to make is I think the roster construction around Cam Jones is near perfect because with Chase Ross and Stevie Mitchell, he's got 2 really good perimeter defenders to insulate him a little bit on that end of the floor. And then up front, when they've got Ben Gold and David Joplin, he's got 2 stretch bigs who open that lane and create the space for him to go to work. Those 2 guys in tandem are averaging over 13 3-point attempts per game. That means you are having premium floor spacing, and that is an ideal scenario when you have a playmaking lead guard like Cam Jones, who I think has been as good as anyone. And I still believe, despite all the narratives in the last couple of years, college basketball is a guard's game, and Cam Jones has been the best guard in the country so far this year.
And then the last guy I have on here is a guy named Boogie Fland, which also seen Boogie Fland kind of all over the list as well, in the first round and in the second round. So this is never a perfect science, obviously. Boogie Fland is Arkansas point guard, 6'2", 175. Now, they gave Cam Jones a lot of credit in that, and he sounds like he's going to be a really good player. So if Cam Jones is available in that second round, he obviously sounds like he would be a great player, averaging almost 20 points in college. Now, they don't have any Boogie Fland video here, which I wonder why not. Maybe he wasn't that popular in college. But Boogie Fland averaged 13 points per game on 37.9 field goal shooting, about 38% field goal shooting, get 3 rebounds per game, and with about 5 assists per game, which are decent stats. Just not knowing what type of player he is, or if he's a dog or aggressive, or what type of player he really is. So that's where we got to go and do some YouTube research and go look at how he plays right there. So maybe we'll do that on the next video. I'll do some video research of some of these guys that I'm naming off here. So that was just kind of a quick list of 4 point guards that CBS feels like maybe at the end of the first round and the beginning middle of the second round that are actually attainable by the Kings. So there's a lot of really good point guards coming out of the draft, more than I even realized. And the Kings will have an opportunity to pick a really good point guard out of this draft if they so choose to. Between free agency and the draft, the Kings should be able to pick up a good point guard. I think they should go free agent wise, pick up a more experienced guy for this playoff run they're trying to do, and maybe draft that next point guard that can back that guy up and maybe come in 2 or 3 years and be that real dominant alpha leader that we need for this team. And with that, that's pretty much all that I have for you guys today. I really appreciate you joining me. Hopefully you've liked the content. Hopefully you've subscribed. If you like anything I said, if I gave you any kind of information at all, please click that like button. If you're into Kings Talk, Kings News, Kings Update, please click that subscribe button. I'm your guy, and I'm going to be giving you updates all this summer, so you're going to want to be subscribed for that. And I want to say